and they never did anything at all about it. But now Obama has brought back the validity of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty and has said that he will pursue the ratification of it in the U.S. Senate as necessary for it to enter into force. The United States ratification is sine qua non. So can he get 67 votes in the Senate to do this? The nuclear defenders who might otherwise be expected to oppose a CTBT ratification have signaled that they will support it, or at least not oppose it going through, provided that they get extended deterrence written into the Nuclear Posture Review. So you get it? The political visibility will be there for Obama to claim credit for the achievement of the CTBT, which shuts off testing, while the Nuclear Posture Review will maintain the doctrine of deterrence and extended deterrence, thus permitting modernization and all the work done through the labs. And so we'll go on with nuclear weapons in smaller numbers, even with a CTBT. So a huge fight is looming, because Obama knows that he cannot be left in an incoherent position. On the one hand, calling for a nuclear weapons-free world, while on the other, the U.S. continues to modernize its nuclear arsenal on the supposed grounds that it must do so to protect its allies. This final dismantling of the Cold War architecture, the final dismantling of the validity, let alone presumed purpose, of nuclear weapons, this final dismantling of the Cold War architecture will be a Herculean task. Fearmongers who pretend that nuclear weapons bring security will shout from the rooftops. And although such former U.S. officials as Henry Kissinger and George Shultz have given their support to the abolition of nuclear weapons, that's a big development to be sure, they have been countered by others such as Richard Pearl and Senator John Kyle, who are urging the U.S. to keep nuclear weapons for the foreseeable future. In short, Obama, no matter how well motivated, and I ascribe to Obama 100% motivation, I'm solidly in his corner. I've read his books, and I urge you to read, particularly the first one. The second one's good too, but the first one, Dreams from My Father, tells you what kind of man this is. I'm solidly with him. But no matter how well motivated, he cannot bring us to a nuclear weapons-free world alone. In addition to powerful domestic support, that's a whole subject all by itself, what the American NGOs are going to do to help Obama, he needs strong international backing. The countries that are friends of the U.S., those very states that are said to be depending on the U.S. nuclear umbrella, now need to speak up and blow away the phony extended deterrence argument. And this brings us to Canada. Canada maintains a fundamentally ambiguous policy toward nuclear weapons. Though a nuclear weapons-free world has always been a value and a goal of Canada, all Canadian governments have participated in a nuclear-armed alliance, NATO, and endorsed NATO's strategic concept, which says that nuclear weapons are, quote, essential, unquote. While Canada condemns reliance on nuclear weapons by non-allied countries, it continues to treat those same weapons as a useful, even necessary element of Canada's defenses. it is very clear that what has prevented Canada from fully exercising the values of a nuclear weapons-free world has been the need to support the United States, which until now has always insisted on maintaining its own and NATO's nuclear stocks. So, as I said earlier, suddenly the Obama moment turns this around, and in so doing gives Canada an opening to demonstrate its seriousness in nuclear disarmament. So, I think that the Canadian government should vigorously support the Obama plan and make a direct contribution by pressing NATO to review its strategic concept and get tactical nuclear weapons out of the 5 NATO European countries where they are still deployed. In 1999, Canada, the Canadian government, led such an effort at NATO, but it failed at that time because of the intransigence of the US, and along with it at that time France and Britain, the other 2 Western members of NATO, nuclear members of NATO. So now we have a new climate. Obvious. A new moment. Where is Canada? Where is Canada? The moment has arrived for Canada to stop being a complicit cooperator in the maintenance of instruments of mass murder. Canadians, they think about it, do not want to be protected any longer by the Cold War nuclear umbrella. In seeking a seat on the Security Council, Canada can offer no greater credentials than a new campaign to join President Obama in ridding the world of nuclear weapons. By lifting our own vision at this critical moment, Canada can assert a guiding principle. Militarism alone cannot provide security in the complex world of globalization. Rather, the security that people everywhere long for can be achieved only by the implementation of programs for sustainable development in every part of the world, and the protection and advancement of human rights in all their dimensions as outlined in the United Nations instruments. The abolition of nuclear weapons is no longer just a lofty goal, a noble aspiration, an idealistic thought. It has become the irreducible essential for survival. Peace is impossible as long as the threat of nuclear war hangs over our heads. A nuclear weapons convention prohibiting the production as well as the use of all nuclear weapons in all circumstances is urgently needed. Lawmakers, that is to say politicians and government bureaucrats, must be awakened by a public demand to pass such legislation. An ironclad law prohibiting all nuclear weapons must be made. The end of slavery, the end of colonialism, the end of apartheid, all great evils of their time came when a critical mass of public opinion arose. So too, the end of nuclear weapons. The ultimate evil. This can be achieved when enough activists and parliamentarians speak out, recognizing that time frames are necessary to energize political processes. The old ways of war are increasingly being challenged as a result of the deeper understanding of human rights. Human rights for all and the abolition of nuclear weapons must become a single dynamic issue. Then we will know that hope can triumph over fear. Thank you.